Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be going through how do we cold call and go high level, how do we get the leads, and how do we call 60 up to 100 calls per hour. Now, let's break this down. Beautiful. Now, you're going to want to log into your... Okay, first, before we actually do the cold calling, we need to get leads. There are two different options you have. Your first one is if you want to scrape from Google Maps. You can go search whatever your niche is, construction contractors in the certain city. You can go to more businesses, install this extension called Instant Data Scraper. Okay? You go to your Google Maps, you click Instant Data Scraper, and it will automatically pull up, say for example, these phone numbers. Now you can hit Locate Next button, scroll to the bottom, find the next button, and then hit Start Crawling. And then it will go through and it will collect all those names. And it's been, 6 seconds, and we've already got 100 leads there. Okay, I'm just going to stop the crawling for now. We can download that as a CSV. Perfect. Your alternative way is if you have a lot of gatekeepers in your niche, it is advisable to use Apollo. This way you can get business decision makers' names, which is going to be very powerful when you're cold calling. Instead of saying, "Hi, I need to speak to the owner," say, "Hi, I need to speak to John." So if you get Apollo, you'll need to get the $60 a month plan. I don't know the exact name of it, but that's what I like to do. You're going to make a custom search. You have all of these filters on the left. So you can search for certain job titles, for example, founder, CEO, chief executive officer. Say the construction industry. Say you want to look at people only in, let's say, Texas. Because you have to be conscious of time zones when you are cold calling. Okay, so now you could filter by number of employees as well if you like. I wouldn't recommend using revenue or funding just because I feel like these are not very accurate on Apollo. Then what you'll do, you'll click this little button here, select all the people, and you need to add them to a list. Now, if you really can't do the paid plan on Apollo, you can do this on the free version by just going through and manually selecting 25 at a time and hitting the next page and then saving to them a list. You can still do this on the free version if you really had to. Now you're going to save these people, okay, and you're going to create a new list. So construction, and I like to add something like describe my filters. So founder, CEO, and then Texas, and that would be sufficient. And then you're going to save that list. Perfect. Now we have that list. Now we're going to go to our saved lists up top. And you can find our one. Let's see if it loads. Okay, it's loading, but we'll just pull up another list that I have, for example. And then what you'll do is a very similar thing. You'll pull up that Instant Data Scraper app. So you'll do Instant Data Scraper here. Actually, before I do that, I need to tell you this. You need to go and create a custom table layout. So create a new layout. And then you need to go under Contact and add the phone and email. Like, it doesn't display the email by default, but if you go under here, you can add in the email. Okay, oh, it's right here, my bad. It's right here. So just make sure that's checked so that it's displayed by default. And then you can, again, use that Instant Data Scraper extension. So here, pull it up. Locate, make sure, just double check that it's actually getting everything that you need. So just extend this out, make sure it's getting the phone, the email, whatever. You're going to locate the next button once again, click here, and then you can hit Start Crawling. This does have a tendency to sort of like stop loading sometimes, so you can increase this max delay, and then just make sure it keeps on working, because sometimes it can be a little bit finicky. Okay, now you can download that. Now, how do we actually get to the cold calling side of the things? This is where it gets fun. Now, you're going to go into your Go High Level. You can use other dialers too. I'm just familiar with Go High Level. That's what I use. You're going to go in to a sub account. Perfect. Now, you're going to go into contacts. You're going to import contacts. Perfect. Upload a file. Okay, this was the example one. Make sure it's all mapped correctly. Perfect, that's all fine. Don't import data from unmatched columns. This is very important. Make sure to check this box here. I like to describe my imports. So construction, Texas, CEO, founder. Okay, organization is key. You can add tags if you like. One of the things I like to do is add the time zones. So Eastern time, Central time, Pacific time, whatever. You can also add the city. So Miami, I feel like that's useful a lot of times. Okay, I won't do that just for now. Now you can submit. Oh, this one. Perfect. Now we have this list. Perfect. Now you're going to select all of those records. You're going to go ahead and do a pipeline change. Before we do that, let's create that pipeline so that we can actually put them into it. So we're going to go over to opportunities, pipelines. Create new pipeline. Construction. Example. New lead. Call day one. There's different ways to construct this. No answer. Call day one. Call day two. Call day three. Not interested. Follow up. Make sure to add notes so that you know when to follow up. Appointment booked. No show. And client. Perfect. Now we have our pipeline. Now we can go back to our contacts, back to our little list here. You can select them, and then you would hit select all records. You're going to go and hit pipeline change. Select the pipeline that you want them in, construction, put them into the new lead. For this, you're going to put contact.name, just anything here. You're going to add that opportunity. Perfect. That's going to add them in. Now we need to set up our phone numbers. So let's go into settings, phone numbers. Okay, you're going to add a phone number. Okay, so add phone number. You're going to search for the area code that you want. So let's just say we want this area code. Sure. You're going to buy it. Perfect. And then once you go through and you're going to configure this. So I like to name it. This is whatever. You can name it whatever. You can forward the calls to your own personal number. So whatever that ends up being. So that when someone calls you back, you can actually get their call. Disable this. Enable the call recording. And if you do enable call recording, it will play this message. In order to avoid that message, put a period there. Or a full stop if you're from Europe. Outgoing call timeout, 15 seconds. Incoming, 30 seconds. Okay, perfect. That's all configured. Now, this call will hang up after 15 seconds of dialing outbound if no one picks up. This is how you're able to do so many calls per hour. Most of the pickups end up being in that first 15 seconds. So if you don't actually get that in the first 15 seconds, you're doing fine anyways. Perfect. Now we have our people in this new lead section. We can go into this little green button. We can select which number we want to call from. And you have to actually refresh since I just bought that new phone number. Okay. Perfect. So now we can select whatever phone number we want to do. We can call them. It will ring up in the top, and you can just drag them on, whether it's
waypoint after hours. Please leave a detailed message.
Perfect. So they are enclosed, whatever. So then you can drag them here, drag them wherever they need to go. This is how you're able to do 60 calls per hour. I will be dropping videos on how to cold call, scripts, what that looks like, what are the best practices. I'm very good at cold calling, so that you will find a ton of value from this. Drop a comment down below. Drop a subscribe if you found this helpful. Otherwise, keep killing it. No slacking. Copying from Mr. John.